Hey man, you doing Wildin'? They don't ask you to do Wildin' Out. I know it coming straight out the gate, but I was thinking about that before you got here.
They do.
You just be choosing not to do it.
Sometimes it's scheduling. Sometimes it's choice.
He was on the original cast members.
Yeah.
Standout cast members of Wildin' Out.
I did that. Okay. I did the first 4 seasons of Wildin' Out. I mean, I had an inquiry just scheduling wise the last couple of years. It hasn't really worked out, but I think overall, I don't know what's my feeling on it. I mean, I don't have any. It's a whole nother way. I don't watch the show anymore, but the clips that I see, it feels like a whole different thing. And I think that's great. And I'm an artist, and I'm a creator, and I did that. I built I was part of the first 4 seasons. We helped create that and build that, and then I moved on. And so I don't feel a strong pull to go back.
Leonard is saying, "Fuck Wildin' Out." That's what he said.
That's what I'm hearing.
It was very respectful. He was so respectful.
The most politically correct "fuck
like,
Wildin' Out."
No, I've saying
graduated.
that. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, I owe a lot to Nick Cannon and definitely that show. Definitely, my story with that is I was only in LA like 6 months or something like that before I got on that show. So that was really like my first thing in Hollywood, and it really taught me a lot and got me plugged in with a lot of different people. I met a lot of people really fast, and it really kind of set me up for a lot of things going forward.
Right.
But again, my feeling right now is I just don't feel a strong pull to do that, and so I take the request every season when they ask if I can come back, and I honestly look at it and think, does this work for my schedule? And the last couple seasons, it just has not worked out.
They've asked me to do it. Have y'all auditioned? You auditioned for it yet?
No,
Either one of y'all?
No.
Y'all haven't gotten called yet?
I like that he said they ask you every year. That was such
the humble brag.
That was
I mean, again, I was the original cast member of the first 4 seasons.
4 seasons. That's
according to Wikipedia, the only person who did all the episodes was Mikey Day and myself.
Nice.
So, I did a lot of work over there. I did a lot, I put a lot of time in. And then we also had a spin-off show called Short Circus. That was a sketch show.
I remember that. Yeah.
Did a season.
Not so humble brag.
Did
I'm digging
season.
it.
And then, I moved on.
He's like, now I'm on Insecure. You can also currently see me on.
Yeah, I did 3 seasons of Insecure. And, I'm personally just me as a creator, as an artist. And so I'm always looking for like the next challenge, the next thing. I'm interested in lifting heavy weights, things that I can't, looking for opportunities to do things that I have not done, so I can get into some other spaces, that I haven't done.
Right. Y'all audition? Y'all been auditioning for stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How that's going? I'm talking
lots of frustrating self-tape.
Yeah. Self-tape. That's what I'm on right now. They be having me audition for shit, and I'm like, are people even watching these fucking tapes?
Sometimes I feel like I know I'm not going to get it, but I also feel like if I don't submit an audition, they're not going to consider me for other things. So it's hard for me to, like, even in the very beginning, like I got this weird thing on my hand. And so sometimes you ever have them where they got to show your hands?
A ganglion. That's what it's called, right?
And they're just, or something.
I had one of them. It went away.
Yeah.
Or you have cancer.
The doctor was like, it's not cancer. So until you get a health insurance or enough money, he's like, it's not cancer. It just looks ugly. That was the doctor opinion.
So when you do people don't know this, when you do commercial auditions, a lot of times they'll have you show your hands.
Yeah.
I feel the same way because I have a line. It's not cancerous either. I got mine tested. They thought it was melanoma, but it's not. But if a white person has this same exact line, most likely it is melanoma. And you should get that shit checked out. But luckily with black people, when you get it, not 9 times out of 10, but most likely it's not cancerous. But anyways, so I have the same concerns when I used to audition for commercials.
I'm like, step 1, I got ugly hands. You're not watching the rest of it. If this is a hands heavy audition, I don't know.
I get booked for shit that like nobody sees.
Yeah, me too.
Like in Africa, there's like a whole PSA about like,
feed the children. What PSA you did?
No, I did. So I'm like, I play a doctor. So in Africa, this is what a doctor looks like, right? So there's a PSA running in Africa, and I do like a lot of like paramedic nurses and like, instructional videos for like nursing training and like a bunch of corporate shit like that. So I'm doing auditions and I'm getting booked for dumb shit like that.
Yeah,
cool.
But it's still fun.
I ain't getting shit. I'm very selective also when I'm auditioning for right now. But I mean, the shit I'm auditioning, I ain't getting shit.
Yeah.
I ain't even getting no callbacks. I'm like, y'all ain't watching this shit.
Yeah.
You can't be. I'm
mean,
incredible.
It's a whole new world. It's a whole new world right now with the self-taping stuff. So there's often not a callback. There's often just from the tape to the set.
Oh,
that has the pluses and the minuses.
Tell us, you working fucking actor. Right? Tell us all the goddamn keys, Leonard.
I mean, I had a weird situation where I've had a couple Zoom callbacks, which I thought were weird. I
did,
but people want to do a Zoom callback so you can at least talk to somebody a little bit. But yeah, often I don't get a callback. It's just you send in a tape and then you're booked.
Right.
There was a lot of times in the in the like the middle of 2020 where we weren't going out. That was so interesting to me, to where do an audition. Hopefully the apartment or house that you're stuck in right now looks cool enough to be in a commercial. Because there was sometimes that they were like, no, this is it. We're doing it all there. But we want to see you in your kitchen. And I'm like, I don't got a TV kitchen.
I thought you were about to say, I don't have a kitchen.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? Or like whatever the setting is. I thought that was so weird. To just be like, hopefully my couch looks good enough for an audition.
I definitely lost a bunch of jobs when they wanted to see my apartment.
Yeah.
But it's so true because you see how well some of these like entertainers. I remember that's when I was realizing how good rappers are really doing when the pandemic hit, and you see they in these little ass apartments. I was like, oh nigga, you living like me.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine did this show called Connecting. It was on NBC for a little bit. It was a whole show set in the kind of pandemic. They were all on Zoom. I don't remember this. But
the title sounds like automatic cancellation.
It did one season, right? I was like, does anybody want to watch a show about the pandemic while they're in the middle of a pandemic? I don't know. But his name's Keith Powell. He was on 30 Rock, and him and his wife, they hired them both because they were looking for a couple, and they have a house, but I was talking to them, like they had them doing everything, like setting up furniture. They'd mail them props, and they'd tell them to rearrange their kitchen and do this. And they're doing lighting, and they're
not just actors.
No, they were working.
They're
way
the crew.
Hard. Yeah,
you better believe they paid their ass one check.
They sure did.
Get your acting check, niggers, to get out of here.
And let me tell you, we were. My wife and I auditioned for that. And we thought we were like, we could do this. But
you married?
Yeah.
When that happened?
About 6 years ago.
When that happened?
I'm not a good friend.
When that happened?
Look, make sure you use that clip when you say I'm not a good friend.
I will.
Use that clip because you started off this whole podcast with, "What's up with you? Why the fuck you don't want to do Wild and Out?" I was like, "What? Hey, what's with all the aggression, bro?"
I was coming out the gate high, man. Fuck all this shit, man.
Like, goddamn.
Fuck you ain't no Wild and Out. I be seeing the
said,
goddamn
you just said, I never said fuck them. I never said anything.
Leonard Robinson said fuck Wild. No,
I sure didn't.
He did it. I care. You want to know why? Because when Wild and Out came out, you was one of my favorite characters.
I appreciate it.
Because it was funny how you would get buzzed for not being funny, but you made the buzz funny.
Yeah, that became like my thing.
Yeah, it was funny.
But see, it's funny you bring that up because so like when you're on a show like that, you got to figure out ways to stand out, and everyone was playing the game like it was for real. But I was like, it's not for real.
Yeah.
I was like, they edit this thing so something that was good they can make bad, and something that was bad can make good. So I was just always kind of covering my bases, where it's like, all right, if you like it, you'll edit. In the edit, you'll say it's a win.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it, then you at least got this coverage of me giving a funny reaction. So it's like, no matter how it works, I can win. And playing that kind of angle is what helped me stand out a little bit more, because I'm not, I'm not always really up on whatever's current pop culture wise or whatever. I'm not a great rapper. I'm not of the streets. So it's like, how do you stand out a little bit? You know what I mean? It's like you either try and make that, you try and fake that, or you just own what you are. And I've always been about just owning and trying to be as authentic as I can. And that's where I saw my opening. So
killed it.
In Detroit, they did a live ripoff of Wild 'N Out show that they first literally just as like a live show, and they just called it Wild 'N Out. They were just like, they didn't care at all. They were like, Spanky Hayes was there. They're like, we got a Wild 'N Out person. Who cares? And then they were like inspired by Wildin' Out, and now they just call it like improv games. But you can,
improv games.
But you can tell the difference between people that like it. People are just getting too competitive. Where it's like, no, this is supposed to be entertaining.
Yeah,
this is that nobody wants to watch a group of people argue for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Over this. This isn't. This was like some of the times it was just me spazzing out and just yelling at everybody on stage. Like, this is how it's going to work. You're going to say a funny thing. The audience will laugh. He'll buzz it. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody shut the fuck up.
Well, that's why I didn't do Wildin' Out, because I went there as like a guest one time. And I saw how intense they were. I'm like, it's like a gladiator sport to them. Like they are really locked in.
Yeah.
And they asked me to do it. And I said to the producer, I said, well, I'm rich already. There's no reason for. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I was like, it's like, how did he take that?
I would love if that's your flex with every meeting.
All right. Well, I'm already rich.
Want me down, I get it. Hate that I keep winning. Stab my back is tempting.